Welcome once again to Live with Justin. Thank you so much for joining in, and thank you for watching with us this live stream on our Facebook page, ZimdiTv. On this program, we invite people from various backgrounds discussing various issues, and my guest this time is Tariro Makanga, who is a presenter. She presents a very fabulous television program on our national broadcaster, and the program is known as Positive Talk, talking about how to positively live with HIV, how to manage issues to do with drug abuse, teenage pregnancies, but she focuses mainly on sexual and reproductive health of youths. We're also going to talk a little later on with a youth advocate. Her name is Clarissa Regere. But for now, it's a pleasure having you, my sister Tariro. Welcome to Live.
Thank you so much for having me and having Clarissa on the program.
Indeed, and welcome, Clarissa.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Okay, so kunevari kuona, these are the two ladies that we have in the studio, and we are going to be talking about particularly my issues to do with my youth parties. But before we dig deeper into that, because apparently Clarissa is like a victim, so to speak, of the bad things that happen when people go out for my youth parties. Starting with you, my dear sister Tariro, your work has taken you across the length and breadth of Zimbabwe, and you work with my youths in various aspects. Can you tell us what exactly do you do when you go out there to work with my youth?
I would say when I'm looking at myself as an individual, I'm quite passionate about young people. I'm popularly known as Antitari, Nema Youth, wherever I go.
Okay.
Issues that I'm dealing with, we are looking at, I think as an organization, as SAFAIDS, we look at sexual and reproductive health rights of young people. And here, what exactly are we talking about? We are saying a young person needs to have their sexual and reproductive health rights respected. But what we are saying to them is, yes, you might have those rights, but they do come with responsibility. And as a result, when we are looking at all those issues, issues that we then encounter talking to them, you look at issues of gender-based violence.
Okay.
You're looking at issues of sexual abuse that young people encounter. You're also looking at even adolescents who are living with HIV, adolescents born with HIV. You're also looking at issues of peer pressure, teen pregnancies, drug and alcohol abuse, all those issues. So we are holistically looking at all those issues that affect young people as they get into adulthood. So that's where we come in, and that's where my auntie role then comes in, because they do feel free to share with me some of the issues that they are not even free to talk to their parents about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you interact with my youth from the urban side and the rural side, but tell us, what exactly is taking place there? One access to information as their counterparts do varuma urban centers.
I would say when you are comparing vana vari kumusha and those vari kuma urban centers, access to information iriko, but the difference would then come in where we are saying what sort of information do they have. When you are looking at adolescents in the urban areas, because we have social media, we've got television which is readily available, adolescents in urban areas tend to be exposed to a lot of information that sometimes put them at risk. And then when I look at
it's actually information putting them at risk, and rather than safeguarding their livelihoods.
And because they also want to experiment a lot, compared even, I don't want to then say compared, but I'm saying what they are exposed to. Half the time, bundles, they're expensive. So half the time they don't get to go on Facebook regularly. Even when you're looking at the amount of time that they do go on television, it's mainly to watch maybe news, some programs, because they are using solar, and as a result, so you find that young people they get exposed to information. When we go there, we do dialogues with them, then we are sharing that information with them. When it comes to useful information that they need to use, where we are talking even about positive peer pressure when with adolescents, then both of them, they're exposed to the information. When we go, we are interacting with them as well. Other also civil society organizations going to interact with them. Then both groups would then be exposed to that type of information.
So in your interactions, in my experiences, what worst case scenarios have you come across?
Wow. I would say about a month ago, when I went to Mavuku, and I was talking to young people on issues of drug and alcohol abuse. I would say, Justin, I was, as a mother, I was shocked. I almost dropped tears, forgot my presenter role.
Okay.
Because the things that adolescents are talking about, a lot of them are talking about, yes, we don't have jobs. And because we don't have jobs, for me to survive, kia that is required for me to earn $1 per day, I need to be intoxicated. And you are,
so, okay.
Yes. And you have mwana mudika achikutaurira kuti tiri kunoba mapirisi evanhu vanopenga, you know, tiri kunwa bronco, and you're asking them what percentage of alcohol is in there, and you have somebody proudly telling you, I think it's 1000%. And you're asking them, are you even aware of the consequences that are happening to your own health as a young person? They're saying, "Kusiri kufande kupi." And this was even live on TV. I'm sure people.
I think I watched a clip. Yes. You posted something also on your Facebook page. Okay.
Yeah. And then last week, I went almost the same direction again. You are meeting adolescents, 12 years, running a brothel within their home. You know, the whole community is saying, we can't even deal with them. We've tried to assist these young girls, but because of alcohol abuse, the community because sometimes we had one grandmother that I had to interview, and she wanted her face to be covered, and we're saying, why go? And it's like, and we tried to interview those kids. They ran away from us. It took us until about midnight to then go and meet them. And you made them such sweet young girls.
Normal human beings.
Normal human beings.
Okay.
About what the activities that are happening, you go into the house, you know, you would cry.
Yeah.
So I would say those were my worst. Really, the last 2 months have been something else. I don't want to continue experiencing.
I understand. And those of you who on this program, we want to appreciate you for joining in. Remember, you're watching ZimdiTv, and this is live with Justin. My guest is Tariro Makanga. You have seen her on television. She does work with my youth, and I don't know, maybe you are watching and you know a youth who is affected, who is maybe going through my stages na Tariro, and you'd want that particular person, whether it's a guy, he's a guy, or she's a lady, and you want them to get help, please do get in touch with us. Do get in touch also with Tariro, so that we also help save a life. Please do get in touch with us. Tell us what is happening. My youth varikuita drug abuse, these teenage pregnancies, ranama shibins and things like that. What exactly is happening? Now I want to ask you, Tariro, when you look at these issues and you actually interview vanhu vari kuita practice zvinhu zvakadaro, and also those who are affected by how things that are done, is it that society has sort of forgotten vana, these adolescents? Are they like a forgotten lot in Zimbabwe?
I wouldn't say adolescents are a forgotten lot, but I'm also looking at what's happening now, where everybody, when we wake up 4 a.m., 3 a.m., everybody's looking at self-sustenance. And as a result, saying, I'm going to be looking for the next dollar to feed my family. And as a result, when you're looking at us as communities, how much time are we spending with our kids, looking after them, even sitting down and talking about, everything to do with comprehensive sexuality education, just when you're looking at our communities now, that has become a thing of the past. Okay. And as a result, you find who's their next person that is going to be advising them. Ngana is going to be going to group paper Facebook. Ngana is being advised by peers on a WhatsApp group. So as a result, you find that because there is that peer advice that's coming, half the time it's not advice that would help them to lead exemplary lives. I'm glad we actually have Clarissa here, because she's going to be telling us in terms of what exactly happens with them because even you hear kune pasa now that are happening in the communities. These are supposed to be events where young people are supposed to be sharing information, enjoying themselves, dancing to music. But if you hear the amount of sex that happens there, the amount of drug abuse that happens there, even after the event, you hear people saying, if you see the amount of condoms that you would see there, and it's just adolescents who are there. So it becomes really worrying to then say, where are we going as a country? Where are we going as a nation? Because these are the leaders of tomorrow. Yes. And when you talk to them, they are saying we are the leaders of today. So we would want to see that leadership really happening in their day-to-day lives.
Okay, I want to...
What's happening is worrying.
It is is worrying indeed. I want to introduce Clarissa. Clarissa Regede, you are a youth advocate, but I want to believe that you got into advocacy after having gone through some kind of experiences. We are discussing what happens with my youth. Now, there's this phenomenon in my youth parties that is happening. Tell us about it. Where is all this coming from?
Thank you, Justin. I wouldn't say I will tell you where it's coming from. Yes, but I can tell you that there are two different categories. There are young people who indulge in drug abuse willingly, and there are young people who get exposed to those other people who know what they're doing.
Okay.
Yes. So we need to talk about drug abuse in that context, because we are mostly assuming that there are people who are out there who just want to have fun and they are doing this willingly. But there are also young people who are just going to be amongst their peers and they are going to be exposed to drug abuse. So my experience has been I went to a party a few years ago when I was still in university, and it was a normal birthday party.
Okay.
But like I'm saying, there will be people who know what they're doing.
We have an agenda.
Yes, they know what they're doing, and who am I to even say they're wrong? But in their own right, they're saying they're right? But you're just a person who are at that party. So I was at that party, and normally you're told don't drink, right? You're told don't smoke. Those are clear signals, right? But drug abuse has
signals. You are saying they are clear signals. Are you
saying
when
you're told by your parents that when you go to a party, don't drink, don't smoke, right? Those are clear things that you look out for. But nowadays, they're cakes, they're muffins. Drugs are not the way our parents used to see them.
Clarissa,
they're now in the form of sweets, even.
You went to a party. Yes. Let's get this straight. You went to a party. You were invited to a birthday party. You did not drink.
Yes.
You did not smoke.
You did not. Yes.
But you ate a muffin.
Yes, that's what happened. So they called them hash brown. Some call them hash brownies. Some they have different names.
Ganja cake.
Yes.
Ganja cake.
Yes, and people make them in different ways. So this is
viewers, do you know any of this? Do you know any of this that is called a ganja cake or whatever? Please give us feedback. Tell us what is happening. If you know any of this, please let us know. You can continue.
Yes. So these people who know what they're doing, they usually just take a small piece. Here you are, you think it's part of the birthday cake, it's part of the muffins of the cake, you take a full one. It's been spiked. Yes, you take a full one, right? And by the time, thank God, this was a braai, so it was ending at around 6, right?
Okay.
So by the time I got home, then that's when I started to feel that there's something wrong with me, right? Okay. And the good part is I went home.
Okay.
But for others who were at that party, maybe they didn't go home, right?
Wow.
And who knows what happened to them, right? But I lived probably to tell this story so that anyone who has been exposed to this knows that it is not their fault. That's the first thing. It's because things have changed. We're looking for, like I always tell my friends that, we're looking at things in the old way. We think parties are in the form of nowadays they're just house parties on a Wednesday. Okay. And things happen on a Wednesday.
About these parties, Clarissa.
Are really using template yekudhara yekuti party inoitwa Saturday inoitwa Sunday.
So in other words, you are saying parents should be vigilant, and they should ask, where are you going?
Even urukubasa, I know a lot of people where when we are at work we don't know what's happening within our homes. Because these kids have now become so cunning, where they will tell each other that from 10 to 12 we are meeting at my house. And they
my parents are not there.
My parents are not there. They all bring their drinks and all. So things happen. And before we get home, they clear everything. We are even having kids who are losing their lives.
That's because
of this. And I remember what Clarissa is saying, that we are using the old templates as parents. It's so true.
What do you advise parents to do? What would you want parents to do?
Well, young people are dynamic. Look at us today. We're doing a live show, right? Years back we couldn't do this. So this is similar to young people's lives. It has changed, and what we would, as parents can do only as much. You can instill values in your child, because those same values are the ones that saved me that day. Because I said I'm going home at 6. My mom wants me home at 6. You know. So it's those values that will protect your child. But above all, you know, you can only do as much. But it will be up to your child at the end of the day to make the right decision, to hang around the right people. And for me, it was a mixed party. It was a joint party. So it was another person who was not my friend. Do you get it? So you can't control anything when you're out there. So you know, you need to be careful. And no matter who you are, you know, look at me.
You can be a victim.
Yes, look at me.
I'm trying to believe. I'm still trying to believe that it happened to you.
After I shared my story, so many women who are in good positions, lawyers, you name it, accountants, people who are already older than me said, hi, you know, I remember I'm going crazy. You know, people have Mozambique, they're being shipped from Mozambique, they're cheap, you know. So the story started coming out. But because I was so disappointed, why me at that party?
Okay,
Clarissa, so that's why
when you decided to go home at 6, because you were supposed to be at home at 6, which is also good. Just to let your kids know what time you want them home, and to stress all the time they need to know by 6 I should be at home. So when you went home at 6, is it because it's just, you know, it's you,
it's me,
and you said this is the life I live, you know,
and
I need to be.
Mind you, I was still in university, so at that time I did not, you know, I didn't have the independence that I have now. So yes, it was that, but I say it was the values. And at the party, I felt nothing, because it was, you know what they say about drugs, if you're exposed to light, that's when they become active. So it was a bright, so normally it's sundown and you go
much
home,
light
so nothing,
anyway, so you were still
nothing happened, right? And
all right.
You know, so but the minute I got home, I started to feel, and then my mom started to notice something was different, and then immediately, because I'm who I am, I was paranoid. I'm like, take me to the hospital because I don't know what's going on. And that's when we got to the hospital, the doctor they actually said, you know, you're not the first one. There are actually 3 more people that came before you. You know, and
that same day.
Yes, they are reoccurring. These things are reoccurring. And he was saying for other people, the palpitations are too strong and you can die. You know.
Wow.
Yes,
that's
you
so
can actually die.
Okay, Tariro, this is scary.
It is.
You know, because you really never know what will happen to your child, and you can't look at their friend and you say, this kind of a friend is going to expose my child to drugs or something like that. How can parents protect their children?
I think with children, open communication. That's the most important thing. That's where we need to start.
That's where it starts.
Yes.
That's very true.
We do not need to be feared by our children. You know, you need your child to be open with you. And half the time, because of the lifestyle that we are now leading, you know, I would get home, I'm already working, I'm already on social media, my child is in her own bedroom, you don't even know what's happening. You know, we just need to go back where we are even saying, we get to a situation where we are saying, if supper is at 7, everybody's on the table at 7.
Yes,
no phones, nothing.
That's true.
Have dialogue. We need to start creating those relationships with our children.
It's very important.
This situation where we are saying, okay, she's in the bedroom, no, she's doing this. You know, you don't
even know what is happening.
You don't
really
know what is happening. We hear people saying, ndakazovhura bedroom memwana wangu ndikaona zvimabhodhoro 6 zvebrongo mudrawer. You know, all those things are happening and we don't know as parents. So we need to be opening those drawers, we need to be seeing what's happening, but at the same time there need to be communication, because sometimes also when you invade their privacy, they can be
they
can
will begin to create a wall.
Exactly. So there's need for that dialogue, for them to be understanding where you coming from and where are they coming from. You reach a middle ground. Because if we don't have that, because anateta akusisina, you know, they're not there anymore. So I'm the tete to my daughter. I need to ensure that at least I put in those measures to protect them. Yes, schools, communities can do what they can, but everything for me has to start from the home.
Okay, let's talk again about these parties. I know some of you are actually planning to go and attend one, but you know, because out of this discussion, I believe you need to make a decision. And sometimes the decision has to border around who are you associating with, who exactly is your friend, and what kind of life are you living. They are your friends. Some times they don't even know the extent of the damage that they are actually getting themselves in, just because of go out there to attend. When you attend mama parties, Clarissa, are these parties even legal at all? Or are they ordinary parties?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, we're thinking these are wild parties. It can be a very normal party at a safe location at Taruro's house, and Taruro's not there.
Okay, okay.
So it's no longer about you guys are expecting people who end up late and did it.
That's and the last time I think it was a pool party where we had Manaka drown and things like that. Yeah.
I'm not saying eliminate those, but I'm saying you have to look at things in a different way.
Yeah.
Even when I'm 8 A's, I'm going to party, I'm going to fan.
And it's in that cake.
In that cake, that's where the drugs are. So it's not necessarily.
But isn't there need?
Expecting is a wild party.
Isn't there need, Clarissa?
25th, I think it was the 21st.
Isn't there a need then, Kuti, where we have even a sober party, as long as we know it's by youth, for the youth, perhaps we invite the police just to have the presence.
The police will be there and the cake will be eaten there in their presence, and the police can be offered a cake.
Oh, you're saying, please, I know this one cake.
It can be a fresh cream cake outside and then inside.
And I'm really worried about these things because,
But what I'm worried mostly is do not label people. Don't.
We don't want to.
When you see a doctor, they are a clean doctor. Yes. Don't think when you see one knowing pass a stereo, no gonna inch, are perfect. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's a habit. People have these new habits.
Tell us where are these coming from? You mentioned Divanema issues, maybe those who want to get away from the stress, and things like that. But what happens to youths in your class who have everything, but they are, not necessarily okay. But I'm talking about those who are at least affluent.
Yeah.
But then they still engage in these things. Is it like there's a loss of morality amongst our youth?
Experimentation. The young people that I was talking to last week were talking about this is actually done in Japan, and that was in Tafara. Yes, they were saying what we do here. In Japan, there's this practice. You meet at this time, and then you do this, you do this. So because young people are now exposed to anything and everything that happens, so we have events that are coming into Zimbabwe that are happening in other countries, and I think with young people that's exactly what's happening. But we also have adults, because that's one thing that we need to be clear about these muffins, these cakes. What these young people are saying is the motive behind all this for a lot of adults is to hook young people. So it's adults who are actually bringing in these cakes.
Is that the case?
Yes. And then when a child eats that cake, the next day they still need that same cake. Next day, and that's how they get hooked to them. And now they become a market. The same way.
In other words, these cakes, because they are laced with some drugs in them, and they actually become addictive.
We heard of a woman from Zaresekwa who was actually arrested, who was baking these muffins and selling them to school kids. So she started going clandestinely to parties. So there are also adults who are actually involved in this.
This is so evil. This is so evil. What is going into our people? What is happening?
And you know what? This starts a cycle. Like I was talking earlier before we started this program, that it becomes an addiction. I have young people who are in O level, right? They now steal phones in their houses because it's not cheap. You're getting $1 or $5 to go to school. You don't have money to buy these big cakes. They probably cost about $40, $30. So now they start stealing phones in the home to buy them, and now they are addicted. And when they are addicted, now they have a business. You get it? It's now a business running. And I'm sure you have seen many documentaries where people who are addicted steal. There's a close link between stealing and
addiction. That's very true.
Because you can never have enough money to sustain that lifestyle. You get it? So it's my appeal that is what Anshari is saying. you know, there are other adults as well who are involved. And then there are young people who are influencing other young people. But what I think is important is to make young people vigilant. Unoita sarudzo yake kuti nine my swaying kwete unobatwa off guard. You have to be aware. You have to be aware that this is happening. I'm going to this party. What time am I going to go home? So tafana Twitter and ABCs of, you know, 3 steps.
How to attend a party.
When you go to a party,
Exactly.
be careful of these things because we want to protect at the end of the day. No one deserves to be drugged. Yes, but even vanozvizia, they are addicts and they are victims at the end of the day. So we need to start programming around that. And I was telling Auntie Tari, no one is building a rehabilitation center. So even if we are addicted, and so let's have support systems because we need to first ngativume kuti zviri kuitika. My parents akawanda anokuramba
kuti vana mwana wangu aite izvi
and ati mbanje is so negative. Akuita zvemasilver bullets.
They don't want kuti vana vavo vave associated. It's not you know what, Clarissa, it's not that vabereki sometimes they are protecting because havazivi. It's because parents don't want kuva identified nemwana ari kuita as if they are now at the scorn of society. If I hear kuti zvakangofanira kuti mwana akanzi aita musikanzwa arohwa pa next door ndokwanisa kutanga nda protecta mwana first, then maybe ndozo investigate kuti angamroverwa chi. But that's the thing. But I believe also as parents we need now to be as open to even to being criticized nevamwe for doing what is right for our children and to receive advice and also to be able to know kuti vana are no longer the children that we used to know. Okay, we want to appreciate those of you who are joining in and who are watching live this broadcast. I have Tariro and Clarissa. Tariro is also working with youths in many areas zakasiyana siyana, in particular issue ya trikutaura ye drug abuse, and Clarissa is an advocate, a youth advocate. She was a victim of that lacing inoitwa drugs through a cake that she took when she attended a birthday party. Now Loveness Zirambi says zvinorwadza. Yeah, zvinorwadza. And again Baba Dube was with us earlier. He's saying Fellington tapinda vapinda Baba Dube. Thank you so much. Taina Rufurwadzo grateful says hey boss Tariro. There's Ndini Tariwacho who says so said. I believe she's also listening to your stories and things like that. Mimbai Messi Chivanga, I see you Tariro and Clarissa, you go girls. Okay, Shepherd Jambaya, fine my bra. Lineka Yonkao Muikisa, my guru, I see you. Pasmonya Mashinga Makombe says fe. Loveness Zirambi says mukeki here yo. Okay, so this is the reality and the facts that one don't believe good things are happening in these malls. It's as if, you know, the devil is now in the detail. You know, when you look at the drink unokwanisa kuona and you ignore it and say no, you know, and yet you see.
And I even had an incident and I can't put it was a bachelor's party. Saka gruma avese tombozondozvi zvinoitwezvo vanhu vanounza makeke mabachelor's party ikoko. And he was drugged again, you know.
My goodness, why would you drug a groom? What for?
That's what's happening now. It's a new thing. You know, you get high on the night before your wedding, you know. So here he was actually also traumatized, but again there's that stigma.
You cannot go out there and say this is what happened.
You can't take your alcohol. You can't have that. So even when Makuru, beware, you know, but you are not into that.
This
and they don't even have a dosage, if I'm saying.
Wow. And one worrying thing that we are noticing when you are looking at these parties, what then happens? Let's look at what happens after the drugging. I was going to the drugging. That's where my major worry is. Because a lot of young girls, there's group sex that happens there, unprotected sex that happens there.
These girls who are abused, as you are saying, is it good that they don't know what happens by my parties? Do they go there unknowingly, or they are just saying we are going to have fun?
Some are going saying there are some not this is what happens, and they willingly are in the habit of actually recruiting
inviting
others to come and join. But for that, those who would have gone like Jakaitwa Clarissa, if she had not gone home and that had continued, what would have happened to her 2 hours later? So some girls are actually abused. You go home, you are not even free to then tell your parents, this is what I'm suspecting. And because there is all that has happened, you know, new HIV infections, there's the potential to happen there. STIs, there's a high degree for that happening.
A lot of
there.
it, yes.
So you are seeing that there are ripple effects that are there, that are associated with these parties that are happening, with this drug abuse that we are talking about. So half the time, sometimes we might look at these issues and say, okay, they're happening, and then so what? But this is something that should be so worrying for us.
And it needs to be stopped.
It has to be stopped.
Yeah.
It has to be stopped.
Yeah. Okay, we want to appreciate, we have My Nathan. My Nathan says space cakes are becoming very common, especially teenage parties. And Tembi, Dark and Lovely, says, watching from the US. Thank you so much, Tembi. You have joined from the United States. We also have B. Katio, who has joined in. But, you know, this My Nathan is saying here, these cakes are becoming very common, especially teenage parties. So we have people who are deliberately going out there to propagate this evil at parties.
It's a good market once they are hooked, you know, because there is no way that someone will try and hook me. You know, once they hook my daughter, she will steal money from you. She will try and find other means of getting money to ensure that she continues satisfying that appetite that she has. So young people, teenagers, they are the market, and that's why they're being targeted.
Now let's also look a little further. What else? What is it that we should fear? It will happen. Kana mwana akaenda. You are saying kuti yes, there is these issues kuti it was sexually abused, raped in some cases and things like that. But what else can happen? Pama parties agadar.
Well, I think another thing is chinotanga ndichokuti we can never run away from the sexual abuse. It's the first port of call, because people think you like it, and already muskana adonzi anengachino but yes. So now I under the influence anogona ku tadza ku understand when you vamwe vake vachingoti ari kuzvifarira zvinenge zvichiitika nditi, then unogona kutobirwa chaiko kutonzi stripwa zvinhu hembe dzese dzotoenda nditi, mwana kana ane mota anogona kuita accident. Because even if I was driving on that day, ukangorohwa nelight so zvatotanga nditi mapalpitation anototanga ipapo. And the second thing is vanhu vaunenge unawo havabelieve that it's a medical issue. I remember ndakatoti I need something to.
Whilst you were still at the venue?
No, as in
when you got home. Okay.
So you might be around young people. Young people, do you know what they said when I told them? This is what happened to me. Bakaseka one. Two,
because maybe they knew. Oh, okay.
3, zvikanzi iwe zvinongowanikwa. 1, it was going to wear off. Time was going to tell. Imagine.
Okay. So this okay, Clarissa, let me ask. Clarissa, vanhu vakati it was going to wear away, are they your friends? Were they part of the?
Because then one because in a drama queen vakanzwa kuti Clarissa at hospital and ari kuti pane zvaadya kupati handiti. So they were worried being all as a guest kauzode kuti munhu because like I said, the person angari joint partner papata ndiye akauya nezvinhu who was not my friend. My friend,
is it a guy, girl?
It was a girl.
Okay.
And of which I don't understand why she wanted girls to get drugged. You get it?
No, I think the connection is there.
I know she was saying kuti ndokuti ina kids party yacho.
Wow.
When they are wild.
Terrible.
Okay. So exactly, I before you give Taro, what I wanted to say is the first thing is kana munhu achitaura nyaya dzakadai ngapave an open environment, really, because I remember others even called me, touching down radio station, hey, you know what, I think you're just trying to get popular.
You can't get popular with death. Yeah, you can't.
I think you're just trying to get popular. Yeah, you know, it wasn't that bad. You know, you're exaggerating and that. You know what, I remember the heartbeats. It was so fast and I did not understand what was going on. So you can't tell me, Kuti, I'm over exaggerating.
Okay. Yeah, we want to thank you for that.
You were asking what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Sadly, it's death. And we have recorded deaths that have happened to adolescents due to drug and alcohol abuse. Some have been involved in accidents, some due to intoxication, where those illicit brews that are said to be coming from Mozambique, from wherever, overdose, liver fails to function, and mananofa. We have records of vana who have died. And that's what we need to fear as Zimbabweans,
Exactly.
as parents.
We are killing a generation.
Yes, we are killing a generation. Yes.
Okay, we also want to appreciate Tembi, G, Dark and Lovely. Again, you are coming in with a comment. You are saying, as parents and adults, we should continue to educate vana vedu nenyaya idzi kubvira mumba. I think that talks about issue of communication, open communication. We can't stop them going to these parties, but teach them to be vigilant and protect themselves all the times. Okay, but you know, my worry iri pakuti, vanava, can you convince them kuti kana waenda kupati unonodai, where does it all start?
You know, I don't know whether we need to even sit Nevana, because Justin, you know, if you talk because I talk to young kids and they confide in terms of what happens. Clarissa Ganachida, she can confirm. You know, Vana will tell you, good, when I want to go to a party, even Samai, if you tell me, good, you are not supposed to go there, but I'm at school, you need to go there. Muna electric fence pamba, mune gate, muna guard. Mana will tell you, good, how do you go? Mkoma gadi ungo wapa dollar. Vana are going, you opa unomuka makuseni, you are saying, mana bedroom, mama, I want to rest. Ndikuda kumbo rest anas. Isho mana ashka kumbana fai.
Ato uya, ato shika.
Makuseni wayo. Tukungo siya vana, hadesho kurumiza kumuka.
You don't know the reason chaita kutakurumiza. Yeah, that's true, that's true.
So the things that are happening are worrying. Zimbabwe.
And I'm believing with this discussion that we are having, the whole issue here, for those of you who want to protect your children, it centers around my parents.
Yeah.
I think we have a lot of work to do. And I believe, Ivana, if they are going to make their choices, let them make their choices. But and parents should play their role.
I've just thought of something else. Remember, Clarissa, when we went on radio, we had one adolescent who was phoning and saying, you know, I've been to church, but no end up my youth camp, cannot praise and worship, even
at church.
Yes,
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
All night. All night it is now
My goodness.
So even in those environments, all night, I'm so happy.
You actually drive it there.
But already
that's where it's happening.
My goodness.
I don't know how we need.
And I think also what the long-term values will always last. I will keep going back to that because kana mwana wakachizo dada usvika apa 6 hanyanye kuzonyanya kubaruka kufarisisa still, but kana akagara what Surface does is mentoring and mentorship and this. So mwana akatanga kuudzwa about their dreams and they see how big they are. They will see, but going to this party and
this is not important.
It's not important. I can go to one, but I can't go every day. You get it? Or yes, but I vision now.
That's true.
So things like that, with all my goals, with all my dreams, you don't know because I was just at that party because he party and it. But
and it was for a friend. I want to.
Where's the next high? Let's go Friday to Sunday. And
language But I want to appreciate you, Clarissa, because you know what the issues that she's bringing in Tariro about an individual having goals. Exactly. I think it helps. I'm saying, good, yes, my parents, you have work to do. You need to coach Vanavenue and to do all this, the ABCs that are but ultimately also it rests with the child. Yes,
that's
to say
good, rights with responsibility.
Exactly, that is very true.
Responsibility as an adolescent.
Yes, nema rights are way now.
Exactly.
But let's look at the issue of rights irikutaurwa responsibility. Vana vasina ma parents. I believe most of vamunota come across vamunosangana navo when you travel all over the country. You have also even gone outside the country, I believe, for your programs. Vasina ma parents or vasina that that cover, whether it's a guardian or whatever, how do they get to make my choices and not build life yabo in the face of nyaya drugs, nyaya teenage sex, pregnancy and everything?
It's quite challenging. That family I was talking about here, Kutafara, those kids lost their parents. And when that happens, because we don't have that extended family anymore, where we are saying, if my sister passes on, Vanavake become my kids. We then tend to leave them. Even as a community, we then tend to leave them. And who do they then go to for even comfort, even for that motherly love? Where they then go to, that's where they fall into these traps. So you find good when we are looking at orphans and vulnerable children, and already once somebody becomes an orphan, they're already vulnerable.
They are.
Society dictates that, UN dictates that, because avasi seen that shield as kids. So as a result, you find that group, everybody prize on them. You know, they are at a disadvantage when you are comparing them to even Mwana, who's coming from a household who's got that social fabric from within their own family home.
Okay. We have Tembi. Tembi, thank you so much for your contributions, my brother. You are doing so well. It's a lady actually, Tembi. Sorry. Tembi says, Justin, communication never navedu tisamirire vakura. And tichita kunge tiri kungovaudza zvekuita. I think ndipo pamwe pari kubva matambudziko atiri kusangana nawo. Clarissa, I'm proud of you, girl. So she's also appreciating your testimony and your So issue iri pakuti vana ngavadzidze vachiri vadiki. Even to have the vision for life. Mwana ngaazive kuti pati yandiri kutora ndichasvika apa. And how do I get there? These people havandibatsire kuti ndisvike pavision yangu. So she needs to be pruning herself of unnecessary elements. Achikura achitoziva kuti uyu anondidiveta. We are going to batsirawo.
Even when I'm spoiling mwana, what exactly am I trying to do as a parent? If I'm going to be giving you money, it shouldn't be every time, Mommy, I want this, there I'm giving you. What have you done? Attach value to something. Clean your plate. When you are done with cleaning your plate,
you get this.
Do you know? And with kids, you find if you start, like what Tembi is saying, if you start from an early age, you know, they will grow into it. But as parents, sometimes we tend to then relax too much and say, okay. And now because Tinana Sisi, they do everything. It's also when we grew up, and Sisi were there, but you know that you do this and this, you had your own household chores that were allocated to you, whether Sisi or Hapana. Why can't we do that with our kids?
Now, thank you so much. Rachel Tina Goba says, parent-child communication is important where we give comprehensive information regarding any issues related to sexuality. Our youth face peer pressure from their peers and always have a way of doing what is on their mind. It's better to then equip them with all information that can help them make informed decisions relating to their health. The first responsibility lies with the caregiver or parents. The parties are happening, but let's also ensure our young people make informed decisions in relation to what is important for them.
Yes, well said. Well said.
Okay.
You know, even threats unoenda kumusha ukafoira pombo ukaenda kumusha unoona my cousins akwaya ndo anenge akuswera nawe baba anditi not kuti vangachivashora but zvaitokuisa kafiye kekuti you know if I keep doing this, if I keep failing, if my grades, because some of them their grades go down. I have a cousin who his grades, he never passed O level because he's too high. He's too high to even read. And so because mwana got addicted, I'm to a regression. Abasina progress. Abana progress.
Okay, I wanted to ask something. Vana vatiri kutaura apa, you are talking about adolescents. Mama ages avakamira sei really? Vari kuaffect one of these things.
Yeah. You know, like the ones I was talking about, you know, from 9 years it has become something.
9 years. Mwana akuziva ma drugs.
Early sexual debut starting
9 years.
Yes.
I'm so worried.
It's really worrying. That peer pressure that we are hearing from Tembi and Rachel, it's a reality. You know, that's where they're getting all the information. That's where the influence is coming. And this need to then experiment. Then you add social media onto it. Manaripa Snapchat,
Aripa WhatsApp, Aripa Facebook,
you know,
Aripa Instagram.
Exactly. The things that they get to see.
And kuda kufana nema music videos ndo ndakaona mapata acho ndingofana titongeshi tiri kwa Chris Brown anditi
askwa Chris Brown vari kuactor.
Yes, mama mabata makape red yaya nditika mama mati zvimashisha zvimachichi you know zvese zvinoye zvichifana zviripo kuti zvinzi his party was dope and vanzi yange yakapenga ndo zvine zvichingofana kuitwa. But I'm saying if it's happening amongst 29-year-olds 30-year-olds vanhu vari kuziva zvavari kuita and vari kuenda basa. But kana zvakupa mateenager mofunga kuti zvinoitika neorder here zvinhu izvozvo.
Not at all.
It won't be protected in any way. Pane ma-risks.
Akawandisa. Sharon Matavire, thank you for joining. She's saying, my beautiful sis, my creed, Tariro Makanga, proud of you. Okay, that's Sharon. She's also watching. Okay, we are talking nyaya drug abuse. Zirikuitwa nema youth. Vamwe venyu mutori nevana. If you have a testimony that you also want to share with us, tell us kuti, how are you managing my issues zakadai? The thing now I want to ask is, do we have hope?
Yeah, there is always light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't believe in giving up. Some of the solutions that we've been given there, you know, issues of communication, because I also tend to think us as parents, we were also slackening. And I'm also happy to say, when you're looking at the education sector, not just in Zimbabwe but in Southern Africa, you know, all heads of state in the SADC region, they've assented, Eastern and Southern Africa, to the introduction of comprehensive sexuality education within primary and secondary secondary levels. And once it starts from school, you know, they will get that appreciation of saying, if I do this, it will put me at risk like this. So that silence that has been there when we are looking at these issues, it's being broken. So you find that if there is that effort, and we have a lot of organizations who are also making an effort, SAFED being one of them, working with traditional and religious leaders as well, to ensure that, you know, these issues, all those issues that used to be taboo for us to talk about, to discuss about, we start opening dialogue. And I'm sure with all those efforts that we are doing, already we are seeing the results where the initial steps have started to take place. So I'm saying, when I'm looking at the interventions that have been put in place now, if we expand,
but these are maybe at a bigger scale, at policy level, national level,
community as well.
What is happening at the communities?
Yeah, like the traditional leaders that I'm talking about, already at the communities, if we are talking about comprehensive sexuality education being introduced as part of the curriculum, it's already happening within the school system. So already we are saying, exposure to that exposure. You look at the role that traditional leaders are playing at community level. They are opening the discussions with my parents and telling my parents, good, when you're at home, start talking. And you know, with traditional leaders, my chief Edu, like Emunom Zimbabwe, I'm quite proud of them, because vakataura parent, they want feedback, and we want that feedback.
Thank you, Chief Charumbira. By the way, ndichakutsvaga imuye ku program. We need to talk nezvamuri kuita, because we really want you kuti as custodians yeunhu hwedu in our communities toita sei kuti tichengetedze vana. So want to appreciate my efforts are mentioned here by Sister Tariro.
Yes, and you have even the religious sector. Tine mamwe magrupa ekuti vanhu vaitoziva kuti uku kukaendwa uku kadai vana vanorodzwa eli vana vanoita sei. But those religious leaders now, they are playing a role in saying, we are committed to ensure kuti vana vedu vanopedza chikoro. We are committed to respect even my rights emwana, kuti mwana ane a choice even in terms of a partner that they need to take. So we have made great strides on both the religious and traditional aspect of my leaders edu. So there is hope. When I'm looking
Thank you so much. I can smile. Thank you. Yes, Clarissa.
Yeah, just to add on, I think the hope is in that we need to make young people realize that no one owes them anything. They owe it to themselves to have a clean life, to get to the end, right? So there's hope because we have SAFED. It has its trainings, it has its mentorship programs, and we have other NGOs who have, there's what they call the Dreams Project, which is trying to make young people resilient, right? So that they reach the end. So no hope, not all hope is lost. And we have some churches who now openly speak about, you know, sexuality and SRHR issues. But I think the hope lies in us as young people, because
you carry the light.
The minute you give up on your life, that's the minute that this thing won't end. But if young people they have to be persistent. I know things are hard, times are hard. Sometimes people want to be high because, you know,
but still when you get back to being sober, the challenges are still there.
There's need to that message, you know, even if you're on the high on Friday, on Monday reality is going to come back. So it's that ability to deal with stress, which is something that we're undermining. You know, a lot of young people are going into early depression, something that we don't look at. So some are depressed and they drink alcohol to get, you know, that bubbliness back again. So my issues are wonder and they're interlinked. So it's just to ignore unemployment. Ignore young people are not being taught
That's very true. That's very true. I want to appreciate you ladies for coming. Just your last words. It doesn't matter that. I wanted to find out what help have you been able to give them?
Now it's actually exciting that the first episode was aired on ZimdiTv on Saturday. But before we even aired it, we put it on Facebook. And already we had one organization that is actually visiting the kids now. They're going to try and assist them. But the major challenge that we have, like I said, they're always high. So far they've gone twice. havasati vane that confidence.
Okay.
But we are hoping that they will get the help.
We have, just to add to what you are saying, I've got some youths from my church. They've actually been there to evangelize to some young men, not exactly the ones you have to, but there's also a group that was into drug dealing and, you know, all those things, you know. And I want to acknowledge the efforts they've also made and to say there's a lot of change taking place there. So exactly, hope is still there. Okay, you can just finish.
So my last words would be, I think, to adolescents, the rights that you have, they come with a responsibility. Like what Clarissa is saying, you know, your life is in your hands. You are the leader of today, you are the leader of tomorrow. What are you doing about it? For you to be known as the Zuckerberg of Zimbabwe, you know, you need to be working hard. And I always say, and not say to them and emphasize and re-emphasize the need for reading. We don't want things to be hidden from us in books and we don't get to see them. So once you are widely read, you know, you're empowered. You'll be able to overcome anything and any challenge. Open communication with your parents. Don't fear your parents.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Andy Tariro. Clarissa, what do you want to say kunevangu vaskana vakaita sewe?
Well, nongoti iwe uri muchengeti wako kune vamwe vasikana handiti nekuti mangwana unozochema nani kana zvazoitika unogona kumumhanyisa over hospital, but you know, it might be too late. So iwe muchengeti wako, hang around the right people and take care of yourself, young people.
Well, it's been a pleasure, ladies, to have you here on live.
Thank you for having us.
You were watching Live with Justin. We'll be live again next week on the same program on ZimdiTv. Keep watching the clip Yataisa that was running live and share to as many of your favorite groups as you would want, and also invite others to watch and join in next time. So many other programs coming up here on ZimdiTv tomorrow and any other day. So please do make sure that you are always tuned in and you are watching Rambai Muchitenga Mabandu Muchiona ma programs, and we want to appreciate you. Until next time, God bless you.
All we need is success. You should not be hard. What kind of a human are you? What kind of a human are you? What kind of a human? A human are you? What kind of a human are you? What kind of a human are you? What kind of a human? A human are you? Can't you see your mama is crying? Can't you see your father is dying? Can't you see your family is starving? Your children are dying. What are your responsibilities? It seems like you don't care. But if you don't care, who else can? I can't see anyone care. What kind of a human?